Hello, okay, I think we're all set now. Hello. I'm going to get started because I'm going to leave this replay up in my Facebook group, my Facebook page. I don't know, that's too bright. But that way you're not just sitting here waiting for me to start. I have my notes down here, so if you see me looking down, I'm just checking my notes because this is my first Facebook Live. So I wanted to write some notes. I'm not sitting here going the entire time. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jillian, and I blog over at Doing Away with Perfect. It's a blog about overcoming the need for perfection. So let's see. Okay. And I have 3 kids. They are 16, 10, and 5. Sorry, the comments like kind of distracted me. But and I'm talking about how I used to be a perfectionist. I kind of still am. I'm an overcoming perfectionist. It really started when I had kids. I felt this need that I had to be the perfect mother. You know, I don't know if there's a such thing as a perfect mother, but I was determined to be. My kids had to look right. My house had to be clean. I had to look like all those Pinterest moms. And let me just tell you, it was exhausting. I I just couldn't keep up with it. I just so tired all the time trying to keep everything together and my kids all good and my house all clean. And let me just tell you, I don't think there is a perfect mom. We are all losing our minds behind the scenes. We only put certain pictures on Facebook or Instagram because that's all we want people to see. We don't want people to see the mess that we really have or the craziness that goes on behind the scenes because we want to give that illusion that we're perfect, that idea that we are perfect. And that's where it comes. What is perfect? Everybody's version of perfect is different. I mean, what you think is perfect, I might not think is perfect. So who's right and whose standard are we supposed to live up to? I mean, there really is no such thing as perfect at all. So once we get that idea of perfection out of our head, that there's no way we can make it perfect. Even if we made it what we thought was perfect, there's always one thing you could do better or one thing that somebody else thought wasn't perfect. So really, I think what perfection comes down to is we are comparing ourselves to other people. I know it was for me. I wanted to be like those Pinterest moms. I wanted to have everything perfect. I wanted my kids to be perfect. And I just wanted everything to go right in my life. And that's not life. Life is messy and life is going to be crazy and you can't do anything about it. You can't make your life perfect. There will always be circumstances that come in that are going to mess things up and derail you. And that would hit me pretty hard, especially when I was really in my phase of having to be perfect all the time. My kids weren't allowed to be messy. My house wasn't allowed to be messy. And when you have toddlers running around, that's nearly impossible. And I was driving myself crazy trying to get all that done. And it just, once, I think the breaking point for me was, I wrote about this on my blog, was when my son told me he couldn't play with his toys because he would make a mess and I would be mad. I mean, I never ever want my kids to feel like they can't do something because mom is going to freak out because things aren't perfect or how they should be. And that really, really struck a chord with me. And I said, I have to let go of this. I have to stop what I'm doing. So, yeah, my notes. Just try to think, who are you trying to be perfect for? Do you have this vision in your head of what your life is supposed to be like and it's not? Well, that vision you have in your head is probably really far-fetched. Maybe scale it down a little bit and think, with what I have right now, with what I'm given right now, what would make me happy? And for me, that's seeing my kids happy, my husband happy, having a happy house. So if the dishes are in the sink, if there's toys all over, but everybody's happy, then that now is my new perfect. I want that to be what I think of as perfect. I don't want to be running around doing dishes and everything because that's what other people think is perfect. So think, are you have this crazy version in your head? Or are you trying to live up to someone else's standards? And are you comparing yourself to other people? Because comparison's going to drive you crazy. Just to let you know. You're never going to live up to somebody else because you haven't walked in their shoes. You have a completely different life. I mean, you can even be in the same family and have a different life than a family member, or even if you were raised the same way, be completely different. And, so you have to live your life and do what is best for you. So while I'm working on this is kind of going to be a short one because I was a little nervous. So I kind of ramble when I'm nervous. So it's probably be short. But I have a printable on my website. You can go to doingawaywithperfect.com. I will leave a link in the descriptions or the comments after I stop this and I figure out how to do it. It's a printable where when you realize you're in a situation where you're trying to make everything perfect, it asks you, there's 3 questions on there to help you think about the situation and what you're really trying to do in this situation and who you're really trying to make happy and what the situation's really about. And then what I'm going to be talking about next week is also on the printable, but there is a time management portion to it. I know when I feel like don't have my schedule and I don't have everything planned, that I really feel less than perfect and like a horrible mom. So there is a planning part to it, but for this Facebook Live, I'm talking about the mindset part. So the 3 questions that you can ask yourself. So if you want to grab that printable, I'll put the link once I figure out how when this video stops. I will put the link in there. So that's really what I want to talk about. If anybody has any other suggestions or would like to let me know, leave a comment below. What is your biggest struggle with perfectionism? Why do you feel the need to be perfect? I would love to hear about it. And I will see everybody later.